Welcome to the Berlin Drawing Room.
Let's start. So first of all, I'm gonna show you some of the sketchbooks that I made in the past with this technique. There are different kinds with different kinds of combination of paper and stuff. So the thing that we need, as we said, is the paper for the inside. And then we need the cardboard for the cover. And then if you have like thin decorative paper, since like Christmas just passed, even wrapping paper is okay to wrap around the cover and to do the inside of the cover. So if you have some decorative paper, you can use it for that. Or you can just use cardboard. I'm gonna show you, like, this was a demo that I did very fast. And this one is not even the pressed cardboard. It's literally the brown banded ribbed cardboard. And then I just painted it black and wait, it's upside down. And I just glue the paper directly in without the second cover. So you can also just use a piece of cardboard and then glue the inner paper directly on the cover. We use the secondary paper as transition between the inner paper and the cover, but you can also just glue directly on the cover. It changes the way you will fold, but I will explain that later. So this is like just with random cardboard. I did a series. I found this old set of, I don't know, tombola. How will say this in English? What is this game?
Bingo.
Lotto?
Bingo.
Bingo, yeah. I found these bingo cards in Paris, like vintage bingo cards, and I made some sketchbooks with them with toned paper inside. And these two, it's just the bingo card, and then the paper is glued directly as the inner page. And then I just filled this in with a natural history museum drawing. And then I did some with more like fancy papers. This is like moon rock bookbinding paper. It's also used for sculpting. It's kind of a mesh papier paper. And then, you know, the traditional inner binding paper, and this is still watercolor paper like this. And this is the one we did in the workshop at the Berlin Drawing Room some years ago. Gray paper outside, hard cardboard inside, gray paper in, and then watercolor paper for urban sketching. As you can see in the back here, see that there are this junction. There is this small 1 centimeter. Wait, let me put this in the spotlight 1 second. There is this small 1 centimeter overlap, and it's what you use to connect the pieces of paper. And then at the beginning, this is the other thing I was trying to explain before, you can barely see it, but this paper comes in of like 2 centimeters with a fold, and then it's locked in with the other paper. So this is kind of what it will look like, what we're trying to do. Wait, let me check 1 second the chat. People from Toronto, Puerto Rico, London, Berlin, Finland, Leicester, Berlin. I'm going to explain the whole process. We're going to do it step by step together. It's okay, Shani, you can just take notes and then do it when you can find all the materials. Hi, I just wanted to say hi to you. And Ohio and Plymouth. Okay, nice. So this is what it will look like, okay? And the steps we're gonna do is, first we're gonna cut and glue together the inner paper. And I'm gonna do it starting from an A4, but I'm gonna explain how to measure and cut from bigger paper. And then we're gonna glue together the inner fold. And then while that is resting, we're gonna work on the cover. And I'm gonna show you how to measure the cover and everything. I'm gonna explain how to measure and go through each step. So don't worry, it's doable. So the paper that I'm going to use is this. This is like toned paper. It's a little bit heavier than normal paper. I could have done it with watercolor paper, but I wanted to show the process from A4 because I thought that was the most, wait, the camera is slightly tilted. That was the most common, okay, better. The most common paper size that everybody had. So for this step, we just need the paper, pencil, and a ruler or something to make measurements, because we're gonna measure, okay? And so the important thing, the first thing you have to choose is how big you want your sketchbook, okay? If we're using A4 paper, the size will be kind of like this because we're gonna keep the height and then decide how wide the pages are going to be. And this is kind of the traditional proportion. This form of binding comes from traditional Eastern Asian book binding, and this is the size and proportion that is traditional in that sense. Nothing stops you from doing an accordion sketchbook that is square or is more large than wide. Like the proportion and the size doesn't matter. The process that I'm gonna teach is applicable to any proportion and size of accordion sketchbook, okay? So I'm gonna say some numbers to show you how I'm measuring, but then you can adapt those. For example, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my pages,
Yes.
9
Yes, I went to
centimeters. Is there a question? I heard somebody. I don't know. If you have questions, write them in the chat so I can see them. It's easier. So the width of this is 9 centimeters. No idea how much is it in inches. 4.5, 4 something inches, 4.5. I don't know. But again, you can choose how much you want with this principle, and this is the important thing. I made notes here on another piece of paper. So I'm gonna draw it here so you understand how it works. You have to imagine that you will have your cardboard cover, and it could be this proportion, but again, I said it could be a square, it could be any shape you want. And then you will have and then you have your other cover here, okay? And then we do the accordion paper inside. When we cut the paper, you have to choose how many sheets of paper you're gonna glue together to create your full accordion. To create the accordion, there are 2 things to keep in mind. The center pages are all gonna be cut following this principle. So you're gonna have your paper and you're gonna mark 9, like 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages usually is how much it fits. If you're using 9 centimeters, 3 pages fit in an A4 horizontally. So you have 3 pages, and then you leave 1 centimeter, half an inch of extra at the end to join with the next piece. Then the first paper, the first one, needs to have the part that we're gonna attach to the cover that I'm gonna show you how to cut later. So this is like 2 centimeters, so 1 inch, and then you have your 3 pages, and then you have the joining inch at the end. And then the same thing you do here, you have another regular inner page. I'm gonna use 4 pieces of paper. You can use more. You can use as much as you want depending on the size of your paper. And the other important thing is that the last page needs to end with the same thing too. One thing that it's important, and that is the common problem that everybody has. The extra fold that goes in the cover needs to be on the left side on the first at the beginning, and when you get at the end, after joining all the pages together, it needs to fall on the right side. Okay, so when you are cutting your paper, when you're making your cutting plan, you need to count the sides. So this is gonna be the joining for the cover. This is gonna be left side. Okay, where is it? It's gonna be left side, and then this is the right side. Okay, and then if I turn the pages, left, right, and then here I have the joining, so this doesn't count because it goes under here. This is left, right, left, and then if I do another piece of paper, see the second one, the first one will become right because they alternate. Right, and then this one joins, this becomes left, right, left, and then this is correct because my fold will fall on the right side. And this is what happens if I cut 4 pages, okay? If I want to put more pages, let's make an example so you understand how you have to plan your cutting. If I want to do it bigger, or if I'm using a different size of paper that doesn't have 3 columns, but more, depending on the proportions I want to get. For example, if I'm using another piece of paper, so I will have my first one, then 1, 2, 3 joining, and then the central one, 1, 2, 3 joining, another central one, 1, 2, 3 joining, another central one, 1, 2, 3 joining, and then I will have my last one. If I count, I have left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and then here I will have, right, left, right, and then my fold will end up on the left, which is wrong. So it means that on my last page, I need to cut shorter because I need to cut on the right side. So I lose a little bit of paper. I have to cut my last piece of paper 1 fold shorter to make it end on the right side of the fold. Is this clear? Because this is everything. And you don't have to understand it rationally. You can also start measuring the paper and then do it mechanically, like you try to fold and then you just cut when you want it to fit. If you can't plan it ahead, it's a thing you can fix as you go. But this is the principle. If there are any questions about this before I start measuring and cutting. Is this clear? Use reactions emojis to say okay or sad if you didn't understand. No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay.
Can I just ask one question, please?
Yes.
The first, then you've got the first one on the top there, right? You've got the 1 centimeter.
This is 2 centimeters here, and this is 1 centimeter at the end.
Okay, so it's 2 and 1, and then on this next one, what is it?
In the center one, it's only 1 centimeter at the end, the connecting ones, and the last one, it's 2 centimeters at the end, and that's it.
Okay, and this one then is the same. It's 3 and 2 are the same. 2 and
3 and 2 are the same because they are the inner pages.
Yes, okay.
Edge pages have to follow this rule that the last fold needs to be on the right side and the first fold needs to be on the left side.
Okay, so on the fourth one then,
yes,
it's 2 centimeters on the right hand side for the cover.
Yes. And then just the pages. And these pages, if you're using an A4, these are 9 centimeters.
Okay.
And these are not cut. We're going to bend them. I'm going to show you how to do this now. Okay. This is just the theory. So how to measure this the easier way possible. So with my centimeter, I start from one side, and the length of an A4 is traditionally, like this one is 29.7. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna mark where the 29 is. So I have a leftover of 7 millimeters for the join, not 1 centimeter. It's okay. And then at the beginning, I'm gonna mark 2 centimeters for my inner cover fold. And then I'm gonna just mark 9, 9, and 9. And I have my 3 pages. I do the same thing at the bottom in the same way. So, 1 second, because my cutting board is very dark and I can't see anything. Okay, so I mark 29 and then 2 centimeters, and then I mark on 11 and 20. Once I have these, what do I do? So to pre-fold the pages, the easier thing to do, I have this is bone folder, but you can use anything made of smooth, non-edged plastic, or like you could use also like a chopstick, or you can use the back of a brush. Anything that is hard enough to leave a mark but is smooth. So like the back of a brush, it's a good solution too. And what I'm going to do basically is that I go between my 2 marks like this, and I just pull a line. And this is gonna be like the invitation for the folding. So I do like this, I place myself between my marks, and then I pull a line. And this is my first
question.
Yes.
So if I do I've got A5 card, then
yes.
I can only get 2 folds, 2 pages per sheet. Is that a good effect, or am I better to cut the card and go for 3 like you?
Do you want to do it portrait or landscape?
Portrait.
Okay, so you have an A5, which means you have half this size. And so
I can only get 2 15s on my A3 page.
Wait, why A3? You said A5.
So I've got A5 card, and then I've got A3 paper.
Ah, the A5 is the outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, let me calculate 1 second. So you have an A5 cover, which is going to be, what is it? 15?
Roughly 15.
15 per 21, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have an A3 paper, which is going to be 30 per 40 or something.
Yeah, 38, yeah.
So I will do it.
Should I cut the cardboard smaller so I
Wait, yeah, I will do it slightly smaller in the sense that I will do it. I will cut it like this. So I will have 15 as the high. Like, no, yeah, no, wait. 40,
I can leave the height. The height's fine.
30, 15, 30, no, 45. Is it 45? How long is your A3?
38.
38. I will do like this. So this is your A3, okay? And I will do like this. So I don't know how much is it. You may need to change. So wait, 38. Let me do a quick math. So 38 minus, let's say 2. It's 36 divided 3. No. 36 divided 3 is 12. Is it? So I will cut it like this. I will do like 12, 12, 12, and then here the edge and here the other. And then you can cut the height in half. So your height could be 15. So it could be smaller like this.
Yeah.
Something like this. Or you could do it like, you could cut the the height at 21, and then you have one extra band of paper that gets lost. You have to choose if you want it smaller, and so you can do 2 rows on a page, or if you're okay with losing some paper but having it taller. You have to decide if you want 12 per 21 or 12 per 15 as the size of your sketchbook. That's the choice you have to make.
Thank you very much.
I hope it makes sense. Okay, 1 second. So this is my first page. So I did this, and once you have the invitation for the fold, you know, that makes it quite easy to just fold like this. But wait until for the folding, we're gonna do it later because we need to do it like with the sense, with the right direction. So I'm just gonna keep measuring the other pages and following the same principle. So on some pages, so this one, the first one, I saved all the paper. This one, I will have to cut some paper off because these are the inner pages. So here, I will have 9 centimeters and then 9 centimeters and then 9 centimeters and then just 1 centimeter for the joint. And you can see I have to cut away this at the bottom. And then I'm gonna do this again here. So 9, 18, 27, 28. And then the first thing that I do is get my cutter. Always cut. This is linoleum, it's a cutting board. So always cut on a proper surface. So see, this is extra. I don't need it. Away. And after I cut the extra, I prepare my fold, and this is what the inner page will look like. Always be careful. If you have paper that has different texture on both sides, always be careful to mark and cut on the front paper, on the front side of the paper. Maybe if you're getting confused, mark the front with a cross. You can erase it later, but that way you're sure what is the front and what is the back. So invitation, and then you put it aside. Then the other inner page, identical cutting process to the last one. And then, so measure the size of the paper. And then put the extra centimeter. No, 18, not 19. Like this. This is gonna get cut. Ooh. Okay, I cut it very curvy, but it's an inside, so it doesn't matter. And then the last one. So this is the last page, and it's gonna look like this. So this is gonna be, again, width. Oh boy, there is the glare on the ruler. I can't see any. And then here at the end, I'm gonna leave 2 centimeters for the inner fold. And 2 centimeters. So folding. And then here we're gonna cut. Okay. The last cut that we're gonna do before folding and gluing is at the end. So your last 2 centimeters and your first 2, you need to cut the corner like this. So you don't have to do it with the ruler. You can just do it like this. So from the fold, this is not gonna show. This is gonna be under the inner paper, so it's not a problem. I'm gonna do the same thing on the first page. Just, is this the front? Did I do it on the wrong side? Oh my god. I can't tell anymore what is the front and what is the back. Whatever. It's gonna be okay. Okay, so now we need to do, I'm gonna stop for a second and give you some time to finish cutting your paper. Okay. Is there somebody that needs help with measurements or other stuff? If you need assistance with that, it's okay. Remember, you can do this with really any kind of paper. And it doesn't have to be super precise the first time you do it, because you're just trying to understand the technique and the process, so you can then make 10,000 of these and give them as present to everybody you know. This is my agenda. Or you can make 10,000 of these just for yourself and fill them all with your drawings. But so don't worry about making it pretty and perfect the first time. The first one that I made was an absolute mess. So it's okay to struggle. It's like, it requires a lot of thinking doing this thing. So I'm gonna leave you 5 minutes to finish up cutting and doing the invitation folding, and then I'm gonna fold and glue the paper, okay? If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Okay. Are we done with the cutting or marking of the paper? Sort of. Okay, let's try to go to the next step. Now we're gonna have to fold it, and we're gonna have to fold in, keeping it in mind, this left-right thing. I suggest you make yourself this scheme for the pages that you're doing. So this is gonna be my left, so it has to be folded this way, and the right has to be folded this way. So this fold is gonna go in this direction, okay? And then this fold is gonna go in the other direction. And then this small fold is gonna go in the outer. These are tricky, the small folds. It's gonna go in the outer direction. Okay, so if you look at the back, see, like the small fold, it's on the same direction of the page. The small joining part is on the same direction of the page that is glued on. So I start from, where is it? Start from here, left, right, okay, left, right, and the fold, it's on the side of the left page, because then I'm gonna take my next one. This one is the left page that I'm gonna glue here, okay, which means this fold is gonna go this way. And then this fold is gonna go the opposite way. And then the small fold the opposite way again. Which means, so here it will look like this. I'm gonna glue it then here, ta 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 ta. And see, this fold, it's on the right side. Okay? So now the next one that I'm gonna do, it's the other inner one that I'm gonna have to join here. So this becomes left, right side. So this fold goes in. So you just have to figure out the first fold of each page, because then the other ones are consequential. So if this one is like this one is gonna go in the opposite direction. It's always one fold in one direction and one fold in the other. This is a little bit uneven, I don't know why. Then this small fold goes here. So this is gonna go that way, and then the next one, because this is like this, ta 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 ta. So this is like, oh, I did it wrong. Wait, right? Yes, sorry. I said all this and then it went wrong. Okay, so this, right, left, this, and then this becomes the left again. Okay. The good thing with the folds is that even if you mess them up, you can always fix them later. It's not like you're not gluing anything. So ta 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 like this, and this one needs to fall on the left. So this one is gonna be a left page. Like this, left page, and then this is gonna be a right page, and this is gonna be left page, and the inner fold here is gonna be a right, like this, ta da 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 da, and this ends on the right. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. How to glue? So the glue, that there is a kind of glue which is called, there are several kinds of glue that you can use for book binding. In the email that you received, there were several options. The one that I have is Italian, because it's the one that I'm used to, is the Vinaville glue. And to use it, you really want it for book binding, especially if it's a little bit old like this one. You want to thin it out with a little bit of water to make it easier to use it. And I'm gonna have to express violence on my glue a little bit. So because it's a little bit dry and old, I'm gonna pull it out a little bit from the inside with my chopstick, like this. I'm not gonna pull too much out now because it's gonna dry if I do. So I'm just gonna pull a little bit, then I'm gonna use now for this step, and then I'm gonna prepare more later for the cover if this doesn't dry up. Be careful, don't always dry up the stuff that you use to manage the glue before you put it around. I've done this mistake more than once in my life. And then what you want to do is just grab a tough, hard brush, cheap brush, glue brush, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here. Not too much, just a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna take a little bit, I'm gonna take the glue and mix it with, this is like water soluble glue, like it's made to be done like this, basically. Just mix it with the water. Mix it well. The ratio to mix it with the water is like 1/3 of water to 2/3 of glue, like just to eyeball it, something like that. So it's gonna look like this. Could be a little bit more dense. Yeah, but this is okay. It really depends a lot also on the paper that you're using. The thinner the paper, the more the glue that you're using can be watery. The thicker the paper, the more you want the glue to be thick. I'm wondering now if this glue is, I don't know. I never used this paper before. And then with the brush, I'm gonna put the glue on the fold, trying to leave, not to get up to the edge. And then I'm gonna take my paper and just press it right up to the fold like this. Let's see if it's, come on, wait a second, give it a couple of seconds, press, and it should be, nope. And this was too watery for this paper. See, we just saw when the paper is too watery, when the glue is too watery. Okay, let's go. I guess this paper is gonna need thicker glue. So I'm just gonna take the glue directly from there. A little bit more aggressive. So modulate the thickness of the glue to the thickness of the paper. The thicker the paper, the thicker the glue. Don't put too much, because if you put too much, then when you press the two pieces together, it's gonna come outside like this. Let's see. You should like it now. Press it together. Yeah, okay, now it's sticking. So leave it there, move along and do the next. Always do the front. Okay, you have the bend and then the front of the page, and the binding edge goes on behind, so on the side, on the non-drawing side of the paper. Let me do this. You can also bend it, press it like this. So and then let's do this side. Again, always remember, as a rule of thumb, put the glue in the center of the fold. Not too much glue because it's gonna spread out when you press. So just a thin edge of glue, and then align with the bend, press it together. If you get some extra glue that comes out, pull it away with a piece of paper like this. Then you can also check behind if there is some extra glue. Go with the paper so you're sure that your pages don't stick together where you don't want them to stick together. Ta-da-da, ta-da-da, ta-da-da. Like this, and then we have, okay, this one, and again just in the center. Like this. And the last page. This is the front or the back? Wait. Last one, it's supposed to be like, I bended it on the wrong side. So right, left, right, okay. Okay, and this is the back, yes, this is the front, okay. And then connect, where is the paper? Press together, clean the excess off, like this. Turn it around, press behind and clean up behind if you have, if you have excess glue. And then you just want to press everything together up to the last fold like this, and then your first fold, and then you get your whole thing together like this. It's not gonna be perfectly straight here, and it's okay. Like, it's normal because we are doing all the bend folding by hand, so it's normal that small imprecisions that add up. Okay. And the important thing, so now while we do the cover, we want to put this under a heavy book. And before you do that, I would suggest, especially if your measurement, if your size are not average, that you do this. You take a random piece of paper and you just mark the size of your paper, because we're gonna use these to do our cover. And especially if your measurements are not average, mark your stack of paper, how big it is, on another random scrap of paper. And then I'm gonna go put this under a heavy book, and then I'm gonna leave you 5 minutes to do this step on your own, and then we're gonna move on to the cover. I'm just gonna put it literally on the floor with 3 books on top. I'm not gonna be fancy about it. I'm gonna close up the glue so it doesn't dry up even more. I'm gonna need you later. Get some more water. Okay. How is going? Everything okay? The people that are doing it along, is it going okay? Everything cool? Did you manage? Okay, good. Giving you a couple more minutes and then we're gonna it's okay, it's okay. It happened to me the first time too. It's okay. What helps? I saw that with me, what helps, it's putting crosses, like marking the pages, like literally writing on the pages, right, left, right. Because I folded backwards too today. Like one of mine was folded backwards too, so it happens. It's normal. Okay, so while our pages are resting under, are resting under the books, we're gonna work on the cover. So the first thing that we want to do is measure our pages. So how much are our pages? Let's see. This is easy. This is 21.3. It's gonna be a little bit more because with the regular folding, the final volume of all the pages is different. That's why we're doing this, because it's not exactly the same. And then here it is, see, like we did 9 pages. This is 9.4 because of the compensation for the folding. And this is 21.3. I'm checking in case one side is different than the other. And this is 9.4. Okay. So what we want to do now is add, we want, I would say, 3 millimeters more per side. So +3 on this side and then +3 on this side. Oh, mathematics. 9.4 plus, oh, this is 10. Nice, round number. And this +3 plus 3, it's gonna be 21.9. Yeah, perfect. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our cardboard. Where is my cardboard? Okay. Okay. This is the cardboard that I'm gonna use. This is binding cardboard or press cardboard. There are different thickness. This is not very thick. Usually you would use double the thickness for book covers. This is a light version of like this is a light option. And this is my starting piece. So what I want to do is I want to cut 2 rectangles of 10 per 29.9. So let's see. How much is this? This is 24 and this is 23. So this is gonna be the short side. So here, let me measure. Oh my God, I'm so blind. Ta-da-da. Ta-da-da. Okay, so I have to mark at 10 and I have to mark at 20. And then the same thing up here. The glare is killing me. And then here, 10 and 20, and I can pull these two together. Like this, and then here, like this. Okay, and then the height needs to be 21.9. So 21. Oh, let's do 22, and damn it, makes no sense. 21.9, whatever. Let's do 22, so it's a round, nice number. Okay. Let's do 22. 22, and then I'm gonna pull this. Let's measure here too, just to be super precise, and connect 3 dots. Okay, so here. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut this. When you want to cut, I didn't say it before. Where is my cutter? Okay. When you want to cut, use the back of the ruler, not the side with the numbers. So I'm gonna cut here first. And when you have to cut cardboard, you need to really press on the ruler, because you can't cut in one go. So you need to be sure that your ruler is not gonna move, because you're gonna have to do it like this several times, and you need your ruler to stay in place. It would be best if you stand up, like if you do it standing up. Come on. Come on. Ah. Please cut. Okay. Okay, this cardboard is being very aggressive. And then I'm gonna cut the vertical ones, but I'm gonna stand up because this is ridiculous. And if you stand up, you can really press hard, and then you can put pressure in your cutter too, and it's easier to cut. Please be careful with your fingers. Okay, one. Always press on the bigger side and cut away the smaller side. Like this. Ah. Okay. Left over. Put it away. So now we have our two covers. Front cover, back cover. Hopefully sort of the same size. Let's pretend they are the same size. Then we need to prepare, like, to cover the cover with a decorative paper. So the paper that I choose is this leftover green paper that I had from another bookbinding project. And what you want to do, basically what you want to do is you need to cut extra for these two. So 1 second. Space is so small here. Okay, so the idea, let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, 1 second. Okay, we are in the corner. Can you see all the corner? Okay, so the idea is that you want extra. So you want at least, how much is this? 2 centimeters. I think I would say 2 centimeters, just to be sure. Yeah, 2 centimeters extra on every side. The easier way to do it, to measure as little as possible, I eyeball it. So I just put my thing here, I draw around it like this, and then I'm gonna place my other cover, double the extra space, This is the street version, not the precise version, but it's okay, it's more efficient. So you mark it like this, and then if you want, you can cut along with the ruler, always leaving, again, eyeballing it, leaving 2 centimeters per side, so 2 centimeters here, and then it's not gonna be exactly the same extra paper on every side, but this is just to cut in a faster way because we are cutting, eyeballing it, because this is gonna be hidden inside, so it doesn't really matter if it's not perfectly square. And then this is gonna, I'm gonna cut in the middle between the two. Oh my god, I can't see anything. Fighting against the glare every day. Okay, now the important thing, again, it doesn't matter. The important thing now is this, that at each corner of this thing, you have to cut 45 degrees, but not at the corner. You need to leave, this is the important detail of all bookbinding. When you're binding decorative paper around a piece of cardboard, you have to account for the thickness of the cardboard. So you have to imagine a little bit the 3D fold. So if my cardboard is here and I need to close the paper around it, I need to cut the corner, right? To fold it in a clean way. But when I cut the corner, I need to account for the thickness of the cardboard. So imagine that from the corner of the cardboard that we're using, we need to leave like 2 millimeters extra or something like this. So you have your cardboard, you cut 2 millimeters extra. So my diagonal line, it's gonna go, it's not gonna be on the edge of the square before. It's gonna be a little bit more on the side. I'm gonna cut this with scissors because it's gonna just be, it's small, so it's gonna be faster. And I need to just leave that extra edge there to account for my corner, okay? That's the important thing. So it's gonna look kind of like this. This is one. Do the same thing on the other one. Leave a little bit of extra on the edge, not too much, like this. Like a couple of millimeters, depending how thick is your cardboard. Leave the as much as your cardboard is thick, basically. Something like this. And then before getting the glue again, what you want to do is take your folder, your piece of plastic, whatever you're using, and you're gonna make the invitation on the side, on the lines. The invitation, this thing, I don't know if it's called invitation in English. In Italian is invito, so I'm just direct translating the Italian term. This allows you, even if you're using very thin paper, this allows you to fold more cleanly, especially when everything is gonna be covered in glue. So you want to pre-fold a little, so it's gonna come more clean. And this is one, the other one. Like this. like this. So I'm gonna leave you 5 minutes so you can finish to prepare your paper before I start gluing, and in the meantime I'm gonna fix my glue. Let's see how this glue is doing. Yeah, I think I have to make it slightly thicker, so I'm gonna add more glue to the mixture. Let's see. Come on, dude. Oops. Okay, too much. That's okay. I got excited with the glue. Okay, thank you, glue. So let's mix this with water, and we should get the right thickness now for this kind of paper. Remember what I said before, the lighter the paper, the more watery the glue, the thicker the paper or the cardboard, the more, or the thicker the paper, the thicker the glue. This is like the right texture of glue. It's something that it comes easier with time. It's kind of like cooking. You learn how to eyeball it with time, and as you saw before, sometimes you eyeball it, you think it's good, and then you actually need it thicker and you just adjust it. It's okay, I did it before. Okay, I'm leaving you a couple of minutes to finish up preparing your paper for the card. Show you how to do it. One thing you can do just came to my mind, that when you mix the glue, it would have been smarter to mix it in a jar with a top, like that you can close, because that way if you have leftover diluted glue, you can save it for the next time you need to use it. I just mix it in an open jar without thinking. But yeah, ideally best practice is to mix the glue in a jar that you can close, and so you can save it for next time. Okay, so now how to glue the glue, how to do the glue. So the important thing in bookbinding is the direction in which you apply the glue, because that will affect the way that the paper warps. So when you put the glue on the paper, this brush is a little bit small, to be fair, but whatever. You want to start from the center and then go towards the outside. Yeah, this brush, it's small. Wait, I had a bigger brush. Oh, here. Okay, perfect. So, bigger brush, faster. And I will also suggest you do it, I'm gonna do on an extra random piece of paper, so you're not gonna glue your table, because you want to get up to the edge like this, going outside. So from the center towards the outside. Like this. Okay. And when you have this, then you take your cardboard, you place it in the center where you have your lines of like this. Then you press again outward from the center, and then you gonna fold up. One thing to keep in mind, some paper that you're going to use, depending on some paper becomes bigger when you glue it. When you wet it with glue, the paper becomes bigger. If you're binding more than one piece, or if you're using the same paper more than once, you will learn to memorize which paper, like how much bigger the paper becomes, and you can also compensate for that in your cutting. Yeah, you need to be careful not to get the glue coming outside like it happened here, but then this was on the inside. And this way, it like you manage to put it mostly clean without water bubbles. Doing all of, okay, another thing is doing all of this while sitting makes it so much harder. Like when you press from standing, you have so much more pressure and you can pull out all the water bubbles. But this is important, like you want to fold your corners kind of like when you do Christmas presents. So you want to fold the corners in. And then this is gonna dry up and remain mostly like this. So let's do the other one, the other side. And let me use this on the back of this paper as a base. So same process with the glue from the center to the outside. And you want to put the glue everywhere. That's why you dilute the glue with the water, because it makes it easier to pull it like this, to pull it towards all the corners. Ew. And then up until all the edges. Come on, here. Come on. Please behave. Mm. Mm. Okay, something like this. Let me put this on top so it doesn't get too much hair. Then the other cardboard. Again, place it up. Center it. Then press from the center to the corners. I'm slamming it because I'm sitting, so it gets easier. And then pull the paper in when you're folding it, and pull in the corner. So you pressed from the center to the edges, and then you want to pull the paper in and fold the corners, then pull the sides. Come on. Okay. Fudge. I got stick. Okay. It's the inside, nobody's gonna see it. But okay. And this pull in, almost from the center to the edges, like this. Check the outside, pull away water, air bubbles, like this, and the edge, press well inside. And this is the outside of your covers. These are your covers. Ta-da! We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay? So while the covers dry, what do we need to do? We need to do the inside of the covers. You know, that decorative thing. I have this bookbinding paper to do that, and you can measure it based on the previous measurement, but I believe that, like, I have this kind of how do you say, scaramantic thing. Measurements change, so I started to just take the measure like this, and then I'm just gonna straighten it. Like, I'm just gonna do it like this, and then so this is 1 and this is 1, and then I'm gonna do the same on the other side. This is 2 and this is gonna be 2, and you want to have 2 millimeters left over from height and width, and then I'm just gonna measure it and double the measure. So this, let's see if it stayed the same, because that's why I always rehand measure. Like, this is 1, this side is 21.4, and this one has become 9. Wait, no, I can't see. 9.5. That's why. Okay, so 9.5 here, and we said, I already forgot, what was it, 21.4. So I'm gonna measure here 21.4, and the other side is 21.4.5, like 445, and this one is 9.5. Okay, it's kind of consistent, less tragic than what I expected. Let's measure here. Okay, So I'm just gonna cut this. Where is my cutter? Mm. This is easy to cut because it's thin paper. I encourage you to be with paper your book binding. Like you saw the one that I did with the bingo cards. Like you can really use anything to bind. It doesn't have to be fancy always to be fancy book binding paper that you buy in the shop. So the idea is that, see, like it needs to be slightly smaller. You need to have a little bit of an edge, okay? Couple of millimeters of an edge. That's why I was hand measuring, because I feel that it makes it easier to get that precise edge. So yeah, what I was trying to say, don't feel pressured by, you know, having to buy special stuff to do this thing. Bookbinding, it's actually a very nice way to recycle and reuse paper that you like or stuff that you like. So, and this goes here. Ta-da! So I have my front cover, I have my back cover, I have my two covers. Now I just have to put the rest inside. I'm gonna give you 5 more minutes to finish up the cover, both the gluing and the cutting of the inside, and then we're gonna assemble everything together. Hi there, Christine. Bye, Caroline. Okay, so I'm gonna go retrieve my pages from the floor. Okay, look at that. So it may happen if you didn't clean up well enough that where you joined, see, like where you joined, maybe the pages stuck together a little bit. Don't pull hard, just get the cutter and just cut the glue. See, it's on the back, it's not gonna matter. So double check. Where is it, the other one? Oh, the other one didn't. Let me check all the join. One joining, second joining clean, third joining clean is the one that I cut. Okay, perfect. So then you should have your pages and your one side. So your final situation should be something like this. You have cover, inner cover, fold, joining fold, and then cover, inner corner, cover, joining fold. This should be what you have, okay? Something like this. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is, first we're gonna glue this to this, and this is the key part. We have to glue it 2 millimeters inside the edge, not right on the edge. Needs to be slightly inside. So I would suggest, as usual, let's do it in the practical way, like this. I'm gonna put it in the center, like this. And then I'm gonna just mark it with my pencil so I know where I'm supposed to put it. And the same thing on the other side. I'm just gonna put it in like this. And then, where is it? Here. And just you center everything, and then this is gonna be it's gonna be a little bit more inside on this side. Oof, like this. Okay. So then we're gonna get the glue. Hopefully it's not too liquid. Let's hope for the best. So I'm gonna put the glue on this side first. Can you see? Okay, here. And as I did before, I'm not getting right. I'm gonna leave like a couple millimeters from the edge, so there is wiggle room for the glue to be spread. Like when I press, it calculates that extra, like this. If we want, you can also put it a little bit here to help the joining, like this. And then you're gonna open up everything and use the line that you did with the pencil to place it, to lining it up like this. And then you're gonna press nice both directions. Where is the paper? Where is my paper? I threw it away. Okay, again, press and clean up with the paper if there is excess coming out from both sides, like this. There is excess coming out. So, oof. Okay, the glue is not super thick, so I really need to press it in a little bit, like this. Leave it be. In the meantime, while he's resting there, we're gonna go to the other side. Is it gluing? Yes. Okay, and then do the same thing on the other side. Ooh. Okay, here. Glue on the back here. Like this, and then again glue on the cover for the join. And then same thing, lift everything up and use the pencil line to line it up. Pencil line that I really can't see much anymore, but it's something like there. Something like this. Seems straight enough for me. So same thing, press hard, clean with the paper, and then move everything on the other side so you can press and clean this side too. Come on, this is a little bit too low. Come on, go higher like this. Okay. Remember that this glue you can move it. It's not like immediate that it gets stuck right away. You still have a little bit of time to move it around. Let's see how it's going on this side. Nice. So here it's mostly in place. Let's double check the back. Seems okay. So just press hard. Okay. And then what you want to do is attach the covers. So you number them. So here is size cover 1. And to attach the cover, you want to do the same thing that you did before. So you want to take the bigger brush and put the glue for the center. Bye, Mona. You want to put the glue from the center. Wait, I'm gonna take some water because it's drying up too much. So glue from the center to the edges. I'm putting glue on my table. It's okay, I can clean it later. Like this. And then you have this. You open and you want to place this inside cover here. Second. So just lining. Oof. Come on. Yeah, all of this, it's easier if you do it standing up. Just saying. It's so much easier. So, and always from the center to the outside when you want to put it down. So you have your inner cover in place that is hiding all the ugly stuff. And then you want to do the same on the other side. I'm just giving up and doing it standing because I'm just struggling too much doing it while sitting. Okay, same thing from the center to the other corners. Like this. And then you take the other side of the cover and you're gonna start lining up at the inner joint like this, center it, put it there, and then from the center to the outside. Like this. And then, ta-da! Our sketchbook is done. Where is the front? Then, like this, you have your, wait, you have your sketchbook. Now, if you look at it, see, it doesn't really stay closed compared to this one because it needs to be pressed. Okay, the important thing is now that you're finished to see that it doesn't stay in. You need to take this, put it like this under heavy books for the night before using it. Okay, that's the most important thing. But as you can see, this is like our sketchbook, and we have these pages. It opens flat, nice for drawing, like this. And all the joining should be here on the other side, on the back side. And some people like to draw both sides in this kind of sketchbooks. If your paper is drawable on both sides, you can draw both sides. You can also draw only on one. It's absolutely okay. Depends if you want to do a big joint drawing that you can then look at like this. But yeah, this is it. Ta-da! So yeah, we managed. So if somebody wants to share their impressions of the process, if you have questions or things you want to share, please just feel free to like raise your hand.